Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing today, Sprinkle Donut? Can you hear me okay? Hello, Sprinkle.
You sound really robotic to me. I don't know if it's me or you.
I probably need to check my phone first. Let me get my phone. My dog started. They heard you talk. I
I'm
think
gonna
they
pop
started.
out and pop back in.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Ooh, what a day. What a day. This cheetah. Lay down. Come lay down. Come on. Y'all come lay down. All right. Is this her? Um, no, that's her. That's the one we removed. She's popping back in. Okay. Here we go. Okay, is that you? Hello? No, I don't think she's back yet. Anyway, let's let her come back on and then we will get going here. What we're going to talk about today is something I found out today that's really wild. I am very disappointed. I cannot even believe that this is real. That's how bad this is. It's about this guy named, let's see, let me get his photo here. No. It's about this guy named, he calls himself Chud Builder. You're not going to believe what he did. It's really, really bad. He's been actually charged with attempted murder, and he should have been charged with attempted murder. I'm talking about Chud the Builder now. One of the things we're going to do is, as we talk about him, I'm going to show you a line from today from Guilty of Crime. We're friends, and I watched her live, and we talked about this for a little bit. And told her I was going to use her live. She said that was fine. But this situation is disgusting. Let me get rid of some of these other tabs that are open so we can actually talk about this. I'm going to pull up YouTube so we can look at this really quick to get an understanding of why we're upset about this and what we're talking about. And then I'm going to show you something else that we can do to actually take care of this. Now, let's see. There we go. There we go. Let's pull this up. You know, I'm starting to see things pop in my feed that are a year old, and I don't know the reason why. All right, hold on. Now, go right there. Hold on. I'm going to pull up her channel. Let me get her channel so we can drop her channel in here. I never know how to do this. Y'all just bear with me for a minute while I go find it. Let's see. It's right here. I'm going to get her channel name. Let's see if we can get this stuff in there. Her links. Here we go. Where's the one for? Okay, bear with me while I pull up her link for YouTube so we can share her channel. That's memberships. That's not exactly her channel. Here we go. Get this right. Whoops. Oh, stop. What is it? Oh, no. Hang on a minute. I don't really know how to do this. Y'all just bear with me. So let me go get this, and then I'm going to play her video. We're going to talk about this particular, it's trying to get all this other stuff, not just that. Hang on. There you go. Copy that link. Here we go. Now, let me go here. I'm going to drop her channel in our chat. Hang on. Let me paste it there. All right. Here we go. So this is going to be from Guilty of Crime. This is hers that she played today. And she's going to explain exactly what this is. And then we're going to go out and I'm going to tell you what we're going to do about it. I've already filed a report about it today because what this guy did, and he's got this big GoFundMe going, right? It's not GoFundMe, it's Seek something, or Seek, Find and Go, or Go Seek and Find, something like that. The name of it, it's another fundraising platform that I never heard of before. But so he's doing this on this fundraising platform, and he was trying to get $100,000, but he's already got $256,000 because he's trying to pay for a $1.2 million bond because he is in jail for attempted murder. Now, why this is important is because the terms of service for this particular fundraising platform says no violent crimes. You cannot raise money for violent crimes like that. So I am tired of seeing the victims being left behind and the perpetrators getting all this money paid to them for legal. If you wouldn't have put yourself in that position, you wouldn't need legal help. That's what I'm going to say about it. It's very, very upsetting. So, and I don't know why today I've had all kinds of, see, it looks like it's lagging. It looks like it's lagging behind or something. I don't know what's wrong with it. maybe if I do it this way, well, that looks better. It doesn't look like it's lagging behind, so we'll just leave it like that. So, oh my God, what now? Let me see. I have to remove you over here to add you to the stage. Remove that one so I can add you. Okay. Now, you there? Hello? Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Yeah, okay, good.
Just tell me what you were saying.
I had to get off. Well, it seemed like the stream was kind of dragging behind, like the camera was not exactly caught up with the speech. So that's why I put my avatar on so we could get past that. But
Yeah, I don't know what was going on, but I couldn't understand a word you were saying.
okay, so I've dropped her channel in our chat, and so if you have not seen Guilty of Crime, go watch her channel and sub up to her. She does a really great job, and she likes to talk about things that are kind of controversial, okay, and true crime. So this is a very controversial case. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to see some disgusting language, but this is this guy. This is what this guy does. Okay, he incites rage baiting. He incites hate. He's racist. I mean, it's terrible what he does. But the reason why I need to show this is so y'all can understand why we're going to show you how to go report this and stop it right now. He needs to stay in prison or in jail. He doesn't need to be on a bond. This guy is very, very dangerous. Okay, so here we go. Thanks to Guilty of Crime. Let me get this started. Here he is, right here. I'm going to go here and get this today. Okay, go to her channel. I just had it a while ago, but now I'm like, uh-oh, where's that live stream from today? I gotta go find it. Okay, go to her channel. Okay, no, let's just go to the channel. I'm already subscribed. Let's see. Okay, I have to go out like this and go back to the channel. Okay, there you go, because I needed to figure out what her. Okay, let me find the live from today. I don't know where it's at, but right here, this guy right here. Now I'm gonna put this on pause. I'm gonna share my screen so you can all see what I'm talking about. Now, this again is live stream from Guilty of Crime. Her and I talked about this. She's good with me sharing it, and please pay attention to what's being said. Okay, here we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speed it up just a little bit, okay? Just a little bit. And it is trigger warning on this one.
And that's my stance. There's people that I'm going to show you today that are on GoFundMe backing this guy. All right,
this
they
is
were,
awful.
but it's okay because when I first started streaming, I wanted you guys to see me. I want you guys to see who Jay from Guilty of Crime is. I'm not hiding behind my shades because I don't want you to see my eyes or because I'm high or whatever. That's not the case. It's just my eyes hurt after hours of bright lights.
Yeah, so I love Guilty of
really
Crime. I will tell you that.
My life has been miserable since my life. I know. It's all good. I just want the new people that come in to know who I am and see who I am as a person and be as genuine as I can possibly be. All right. If those that are just trolls want to come in and talk crap, we're just going to get rid of them today. That's not my concern for those racist people. And I'm not about that. It's never okay. And as a matter of fact, before we even get into it, I want you to see who Chud the Builder is. Just real quick. Hold on. You guys have probably seen this guy before.
I've never seen him.
He's
never
on
heard
a lot
of
of different social platforms. All right. So let me start with this, and then I'm going to get into the complete episode. But I want you guys to realize that person that he shot, the victim, is a victim. It doesn't matter what his background is. Chud the Builder, aka his real life is Dalton Earthy or something like that, Etherly. And guys, he started out on YouTube as a fucking fairy. All right, he started as a fucking fairy. So a lot of times when I look at true crime or I look at these YouTubers, they started out as something else. It's like they've been trying hard for years. They've been trying hard for years to get into that algorithm and become famous. Right?
Okay. So, I forgot to give my fair use statement. Let me get my phone so we can do that. I want to do that right quick. Even though her and I discussed it, she's cool with me showing her. This is just a pretty important. It's pretty important what we're talking about. So let me get my fair use statement out. We'll get that taken care of. So sorry. I kind of threw this together late, but I was like, I've got to do it. I've got to do it today. I can't do it tomorrow. We're doing it today. All right. Get this over here. Oops. Okay, here we go. Get up here to my fair use disclaimer. Let's go. This live stream contains commentary, criticism, news reporting, education, and legal analysis under Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Act of 1976. Any images, headlines, screenshots, clips, or media referenced during this broadcast belong to their respective owners and are used for commentary, discussion, and informational purposes only. This channel does not claim ownership of third-party materials used under fair use principles. Content is transformed through live analysis, opinion, reporting, public interest discussions. All information discussed is based on publicly available sources unless otherwise stated. All individuals discussed are presumed innocent unless proven guilty in a court of law. This stream is not affiliated with any court, law enforcement agency, news organization, or official legal entity. There is our fair use disclaimer, and let's go. Here we go.
I can say I'm proud of myself. I never did that. I had my career as a tattoo artist and in the mechanical engineering field. I came out here, caught the Madeline Soto case because they reached out to me because I'm Puerto Rican and I represent that community. So I've never tried to do the social media thing. I got on here, I got on Zab's channel, and then all y'all came. All right. So before we get started, I just want you to hear who Chud the Builder is, so you know that when people come in, we're not playing that. I don't entertain racists. And two of my very, very favorite people in the entire world are black. And that's my boss of 18 years and my nephew who did time in prison. That has nothing, no consequence to me. Also, I'm Puerto Rican and Spanish, and you get black Puerto Ricans and white Puerto Ricans and middle. So, all right, just so you guys know, and you can see my eyes. Yeah, you can see my eyes, see who I am, how genuine I am, and I'm not hiding behind anything. But yeah, every once in a while, y'all are gonna see me in Vegas. All right, let's play this real quick. This is what the episode today, Chud the Builder. This is what he does for social media content. All right, and we're gonna talk about.
Hang on, and once again, we have somebody over here trying to promote something from Twitch. I'm gonna have to kick the Twitch off of here because I'm not gonna allow that on our channel. So sorry about that. But we're gonna kick off Twitch tonight. Sorry, guys. We just can't have that every time we come on. Every time, so it changes. Okay, hang on just a second. Every time we come live, we have an issue with somebody doing that crap, and I'm tired of it. So I'm gonna quit including Twitch into our live stream. So here we go.
Emotional response versus the law. Okay, now I can have an emotional response. You guys can call me gay or an old washed out lesbian or whatever else you want to call me. You can call me anything you want to call me. But I can't, I have to hold my emotions and say, who cares if you called me that? I'm not going to shoot you because you're invoking me to rage bait. Instead, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm the bigger person. Well, he does this to people that don't realize that they are the bigger people and not to let him get to them, because at the end of the day, you just end up going to jail and looking stupid. All right. Thank you. Yes, we need troll spray merch. I love it too. Thanks to Tiff. My girl Tiff is our merch person. All right, so listen up, and then we'll get started. I'm gonna play this clip, and then I'll start like I normally do. What's up, Low Red? How you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, exactly. Hey, they do, but you know what? I've got thick skin, and I've been called all the names all my life. I mean, people come on here and don't know me, and they're like, "Are you a male or a female?" And it's like, come on, man, is that really like a question? But do I let rage bait get to me? Nah, I'm past that. So let's check this out and put that message out there. Don't let people like this rage bait you. And fuck this Chud the Builder. I do not support him at all, but people do. He's got a GoFund for $100,000, and it's got $108,000 with a bunch of people supporting his N-word and calling black people chimps, and they're chimping out. All right, listen up. I'm not even going to stop it.
On social media, he goes by Chud the Builder, and basically his whole shtick is he goes out into areas where there's a lot of black people. He starts saying the N-word, and then when they take offense to it and start getting uppity, he says that they're chimping out. And if any of them actually want to get physically violent, he's just got that thing on him, like ready to go. And he says that he's doing this in the name of promoting free speech, but we all know he's really just doing this for like likes and views on social media. But then you see these clips on social media, and it seems like there's a whole lot of the black people that like fuck with him. They think he's pretty cool, especially the women.
Hey, I know that white guy, Chud the Builder, who goes around calling black men chimps and the N-word. Hear me out. He's
and he said that that's because, well, hold on, here you go.
I think all these little Keishas, like last night, Keishas all run up to me. Oh, we fuck with you. We know what you're doing. They understand. There's no hate in my heart.
But don't get it twisted. There are a whole lot of people who are not at all tolerant of what he's doing. A lot of them are white too. Well, I mean, you know the types. Some of those people went and deep dove his social media and found this older picture of him in a fairy dress with wings.
Guys, he's a flaming fairy. I'm sorry, I had to pause it for a second because when I'm done with this, I'm going to completely start the episode as normal. All right, so do me a favor, come on in, hit that like button, subscribe, get a membership. We have our goal up if anyone wants to help with the goal. But yes, I just came on like 10 minutes early to kind of give you guys a little heads up on what we're talking about today. And well, you know, you guys get to see me. Sometimes people are like, Jay, why do you wear glasses? Well, because I need glasses to see.
There we go.
Second, and
I just want to get over here and get this talk. Hang on just a second.
this other piece of garbage here. But
Wow.
doesn't take away the victimhood from Joshua Lavelle. So let's get started, guys. All right, I'm going to change my glasses because I won't be able to run a whole episode in the bright. All right. Yeah, you guys know, when I first started my channel, I didn't wear shades, but it's just too bright. I can't see. All right. And I'm also blind AF, my friends. I'm blind AF without my glasses. So let's commence.
Hang on a
How's
second, let me
everybody
tell you
doing today?
something.
Good to see you.
We're going to let this play a little bit, and then I'm going to go read you something from Reddit that he put on Reddit days before he did what he did. I'm telling you, he's portraying it as one thing, but it's not. It is absolutely premeditated. He rage baited somebody. Then he tried to fry wolf. And then he goes out and tries to start raising money. I looked just a few minutes ago, it's $256,000 this piece of shit's raised, okay, against the terms of service for this particular site. Here we go. Let's keep listening to Jay.
Sadie's mama, always a big hug. Saucy Skin CBD. Andrea, how you doing? Cuff you. Holly, I'm so glad you're here. Elephant, hit that like button.
Come on,
Thank
come
you
on,
guys.
let's
I
go.
appreciate you.
I gotta
And I
get
will
this
be,
one. Trying to get past them with that.
AKA Fairy, AKA just wanting to get social media likes. And guys, he doesn't like those. See, that's the thing. See, Google right here. See, there's a whole backing of people that want to free Chud, keep exposing ninjas, which Google fears alt media. I put no hard N-word. So instead of ninjas, this person obviously wants NIGGA, right? You see that Google account? And that is, you know, that's their awful opinion. I don't even know why that you would be in here saying free Chud. You should go and like and subscribe to his channels and go donate and get him out of his $1.25 million bond. All right, Mr. Google, go donate to him and get him out because $1.25 million bond, he can't get out. And I'll show you today. So there you go. Go help him out. Go help him out. Go help him expose the ninjas or whatever you want to call that. All right. I don't see it like that. So here's our victim and any misconceptions that people might come in with by saying he did this or he did that. Let me tell you who the victim is. Also, luckily, he did not die. Thank God. But now Chud the Builder is being charged he's being charged with attempted murder. I'll get to that in a minute. This is the victim. Let's take a look at him and highlight because people are confusing him with a pedophile. Now, he has a criminal record, but he's not a pedophile.
Chud the Builder still locked up. People are saying he did everyone a favor because apparently the guy that he shot was convicted of solicitation of a minor. And a Wi-Fi warlord by the name.
Now remember this. What this man is saying right here is not true about the victim. This is not true. It's not the same person. We have verified that. Jay has receipts for that. So here we go.
Of tribal elitism would leave a comment saying the black you are defending and saying is a hero is convicted of aggravated domestic violence and rape. Jake is cool with
Not
rapists. Fuck no. So I decided to do my homework as usual. This is Joshua Fox, the white version, who is convicted of solicitation of a minor.
See,
Now,
right
this
there.
Joshua Fox is a disabled Army veteran who suffers from a list of mental health conditions, and he was arrested for domestic violence after threatening his wife with a screwdriver. So did he deserve to get shot? Fuck no. I did a list of shit that people got 5 felonies to prove it, and now I'm trying to give a message on the internet to tell kids to stay out the motherfucking streets.
Yep.
Stop giving excuses for Chud. What he did wasn't right. Chud the Builder is
Yeah.
still locked up.
You guys, if we're giving excuses for Chud, and especially people that are coming in here and saying exposed ninjas, what are you talking about? Exposed ninjas? Why in the hell would you go into a neighborhood where there's black people, a different community than yours, and start dropping the N-word? Right after this, I'm going to tell you in my own words what happened and where we are and my take on this case. It's emotional response versus the law. And I'm going to tell you right now, this guy not only pushes the law, guys, but he uses the First and Second Amendment to hide behind his criminal activity. In my opinion, it's criminal activity, and he's a little flaming fairy that just wants to have attention on YouTube. He's got it now.
Viral video circulating online purports to show the chaotic
This is the
aftermath
news.
of a racist streamer allegedly shooting a black man. outside a Tennessee courthouse. Streamer Chud the Builder, whose real name is Dalton Etherly, shot the unidentified man during a scuffle on May 13th outside of the courthouse in Clarksville, according to the DA, who said Chud also accidentally shot himself during the confrontation.
He certainly did. How dumb is that? If you're going to
Yeah.
go around invoking people.
What's important about this is, let me read you exactly what's on Reddit, where Chud the Builder actually put this information out there himself. Okay? Let's see. Gotta go down here and find my little Reddit that I found just a few minutes ago that talks about he absolutely premeditated finding somebody to shoot. He is very much guilty of premeditating this situation. Okay, let me go find this. Well, I'm gonna let her talk a little more while I find this so I can pull it up. Okay, hang on, guys.
And you're going to go around rage baiting, at least learn how to shoot a weapon, okay? Again, we're going to get into this, but this guy goes around, and you know what, Dee Dee? He didn't go into the right hood. You're right, but you know what? He's so racist. Even the black women that like him, he doesn't even want them touching him. I saw a black woman touching him in one of his videos. He's like, ew, don't touch me. He doesn't even want to touch you if you're black. That's how racist he is, okay? And when you're a member of some racist, hardcore racist group, if you have sex with a black person, whether you're a man or a female, you can't be in there. So I don't know how deep this guy goes. We'll find out. All right. This is absolutely ridiculous. He was already at a court hearing, already at the courthouse, because he's already in trouble for other stuff. I'll show you his record after. And now this.
The 28-year-old has amassed an online following by filming himself spewing vile racial slurs, such as referring to black people as chimps and openly saying the N-word to get reactions.
Yeah, there you
In
go.
footage captured by Clarksville Now, Etherly could be seen tended to by first responders at the scene, where he began streaming his interactions following the alleged shooting. Etherly can be heard blaming his gunfire on the other man, who was black, according to witnesses, saying the man confronted and threatened him over his vile online content.
He said, you start saying all that chimp out to me, I'm gonna hit you. He hit me, started wailing on me, even after I had to defend myself by shooting him. He's still wailing on me.
Elsewhere in the 16-minute clip, the streamer can be heard asking authorities if he shot himself amid the scuffle, noting a graze on his arm. The victim was medically evacuated and is recovering in stable condition, officials said. The mustached antagonist was supposed to appear at the court for a civil case over unpaid debts, which comes just after he was arrested for refusing to pay a $400 restaurant bill, even after he polished off his entire meal. Following the shooting, Etherly was booked into the Montgomery County Jail, while the local sheriff's office vowed those responsible would be held accountable.
Now, remember, guys, this guy literally, yeah, he's in jail right now. It's a $1.25 million bond, and his followers have raised over $100,000 to get him out, okay? This is a big community of people that follow him and that are raising funds to get this guy out. And I really can't understand why, because he just filmed. If you guys paid attention to what we were just watching, he literally was at the courthouse, and there were black people there, and he went in front and rage baited them, and then said, it's self-defense. So if I go up to a bunch of white people, I'm like, you fucking crackers, and then they come at me and I pull a gun on them, is that defending yourself? Also, people raising money. I'm going to get into that. They raised over $100,000, which was his goal. Somebody just came in chat a little while ago telling me that get free Chud, right? I mean, I don't even know how this goes on this day and age. He's lucky, this guy. He's lucky he's alive.
To the fullest extent of the law. Etherly has been charged with attempted murder, employing a firearm during dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon.
Yup. All right, so that just gives you a little bit of a understanding. But let me tell you what happened first. Let's put this up real quick. I'm gonna put the article up, but I'm gonna read you. I'm gonna tell you from my own words quickly what happened. All right, because I haven't told you. I just came on and kind of gave you bits and pieces. This guy's name is Chud the Builder. Okay. His real name's Dalton Etherly, however you say that, I don't care. Now, he's facing a stack of serious felony charges after, outside the courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee, escalated into gunfire. Now, we just saw he was rage baiting them, and then he pulled a gun out. Okay, now he also shot himself in the arm on accident, allegedly. All right, so what happened, guys? Today is, what are we in, May 18th, 2026? Well, listen, on May 13th, 2026, live streamer Chud the Builder, guys, he's only 28 years old, became involved in a physical altercation outside of the Montgomery County Courthouse in Clarksville, Tennessee. Now, as the confrontation escalated into gunfire, which during that, Etherly shot the other man multiple times and then also shot himself in the arm, apparently by accident. Now, this Chud guy was already scheduled to appear in court that morning for a civil/debt credit dispute. Okay, so he's already.
But listen carefully. Just days before this happened, he was on a live stream telling people that basically he was going to rage bait somebody and that he would show them because he would take them out. I mean, this is basically kind of a it's premeditated on his part because he finally found somebody he could antagonize just enough to piss him off, just enough. And sadly, it's a veteran. It's a veteran who's now wounded. You know, he's lucky the guy didn't die. He absolutely is lucky that the guy didn't die. Now, so as this guy, Chud the Builder, wants to act like, oh, it's my free speech right, it's my free speech right. No, he absolutely is rage baiting people, using this. Oh, it's just horrible. I'm very upset about it, and I'm telling you, I'm going to tell y'all how to stop this from happening. Stop raising money for the perpetrators who this guy absolutely attempted to murder the other guy. He knows exactly what he was doing. It was premeditated. Here you go.
He's already got himself in trouble. He's already out there rage baiting. He's already using the N word all over. I mean, he's happy to call people the N hard word. Okay. So I'm going to put him up there to show you that he just wants attention and he's going to take it any way that he can because he started out as a freaking fairy online. And I guess the fairy didn't take off like being a racist live streamer does, huh? All right. So let's just real quick. This guy hides behind our First and our Second Amendment. Okay. Based on all the available reports, he hides behind First and Second Amendment. All right. First Amendment is to defend his racist, antagonistic live stream confrontations as free speech. So First Amendment, free speech, and that defends him from calling people the N-word and chimp out and all the other things he does. Now, the Second Amendment, he uses that to openly carry and display his firearms while threatening lethal force in a confrontation that he caused. Okay? So multiple sources describe him as repeatedly framing his racist public confrontations as free speech. Again, it is. We're in America. You can say whatever you want. His social media posts, they emphasize his willingness to use lethal force and free speech as a patriot. All right, that's what he's saying. He also.
Okay. I'm going to show you something too. I'm going to switch screens for just a second. I'll show you something that's on X, and this is this guy in action doing exactly what he does. So here we go. Okay, hang on. Oops. I got to share my screen first. Sorry about that. Share the screen, and this is on X. You can find this stuff everywhere. This guy goes everywhere doing this garbage right here, trying to use First Amendment, trying to use his right bullshit. Oh my God, he's angry. Here you go.
Look at this nigga chimping out.
Listen to him.
Look at this nigga chimping out. That's the news team. Y'all know his name now. Isaiah Ware.
It's just
pussy ass fuck niggas.
You hear that shit?
He talks a lot of shit on the newscast.
Mm-hmm.
Come over here, chimp out. Come here and chimp out.
He looks like a 70s porn star.
Oh, I agree, 100%. But now watch his face right here when he realizes he's got a $1.2 million bond for attempted murder. Here we go. All right, guys, hang on just a second. Let's play this one. Here we go. Sorry.
So we're gonna have a bail.
I'm gonna set just a bond right now after we have our bail hearing. Then I'll let you make all the arguments. We can go through all the factors in the statute and see if that gets amended up or down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at 1.25 million. 1.25 million. Based upon the fact of how many people were in the courtyard, we're here at the courthouse, and the seriousness of all these felonies and his bond status. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So the 26th at 9 o'clock, the 21st at 9 o'clock for a bond hearing, and then the 26th at 9 for a preliminary hearing right here. Does that work for everybody's calendar? General, does that work for the state?
Yes.
All right.
Just for the court's information and Mr. Finley, the state is going to request and file a source hearing when and if there's an attempt to make bond.
Okay. Is there any objection of us taking all those matters up at the bond hearing on the 21st?
No.
Mr.
Thank
Finley, do you
God.
have any objection to doing it that way? That's the most efficient way, I think.
Judge, we'll try and have everything lined up for the.
Okay. All right. Anything else, Mr. Finley, from you today?
No, sir.
All right. From the
Okay, we'll take that off there right now. We're going to put it back. We'll share our screen back with Jay from Guilty of Crime right here. Okay, so get her right here and get her ready to go again. Now, you heard exactly what I heard. You saw exactly what I saw. And if you don't find what he's doing to be extremely disgusting and disturbing, I don't know if we align the same. There is no reason for what he's doing at all, period. But let's keep listening to Jay.
Reports that he displayed his firearm during the live streams, reinforcing that he leans on that Second Amendment as his persona. All right. Now, I don't think he was ready for this. I don't think he realized what he was getting himself into, but he's held on bond $1.25 million and he's stuck. He's not getting out, especially since he was at court for already committing crimes. Okay. So he was already arrested days earlier for disorderly conduct and resisting arrest after allegedly walking out on a $371 restaurant bill while live streaming. All right. 28 years old. And he's a controversial streamer. He literally filmed himself at a restaurant and didn't like something about it. So he walked out. All right. He thinks he can do that. Racially derogatory statements to Black people in public places. All right. So he was involved in a confrontation on the 18th at about 1:15 outside of the Tennessee Montgomery County Courthouse. The DA, District Attorney Robert Nash, told Newsweek in a statement that he was already there for that. All right. Now, the victim is Joshua Fox. He's an Army veteran. Again, he has a bit of a past with some PTSD, but he's not a pedophile. And I'm not trying to justify anybody's behavior. All right.
Now, hang on just a second, though. But let me tell you what else he ought to be charged with. He should be charged federally with a hate crime. Absolutely. Because he picked and then tried to haul herself to fence. It's like somebody crying wolf right here. I don't like it. I think it's horrible. This is absolutely should be a hate crime as well. And who goes into a restaurant? Who goes into a restaurant, spends that kind of money, they're live streaming and thinks they're going to get up and walk out, they can get away with that? A $371 bill. Who does he think he is? Right? I mean, have you seen anything like this before, Sprinkle Donut? Because I have not.
No, it's just disgusting.
It is a shame. I would like to know about his parents. How do you raise something like this? How? What? Oh my Lord. I would be so embarrassed if this was my child. Well, my child would never be like this because we don't raise racist piece of shit. Now, the guy doesn't have a job either. He was fired from his job for the same actions as he's doing right here. Exact same actions. So I guess he thought he was just going to jump out there and get on social media and that's going to pay his bills. And so the rage baiting, he rage baits these people all the time for content. It's all for content. He is lucky somebody has not beat him down, if you know what I mean. So we'll keep listening. Here we go. It's absolutely disgusting.
All right, I'm going to get into this article, and whatever I didn't show you, I will. You guys do me a favor. That is our victim, Justice for Joshua. Now I'm going to show you everything. Thank you so much, Elvin, for the Guilty of Crime membership, and Foxy for the Guilty of Crime membership, and Farquaad for being a member for 6 months. You've been here way longer, my friend, but thank you. Thank you guys for the memberships. It all helps. Vegas, baby. Vegas is less than 2 weeks away. All right, so let's look at this guy. This is on May 13th. The man who instigated racist disputes charged with attempted murder outside of the county courthouse, and rightfully so. All right, he didn't think that he thought he was just gonna go out unscathed and just be like, yeah, I shot this dude because he attacked me. All right, so 28 years old, he's now been charged with attempted murder, employing a firearm during a dangerous felony, aggravated assault, and reckless endangerment with a deadly weapon. He's been booked into Montgomery County Jail. It's unfortunate that the incidents like this are happening in our community. Of course, the sheriff says this kind of violence won't be tolerated, and our office will work to make sure those responsible are held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. And this was the previous what is it? Hold on. This is the previous article where they talk about a man known locally for taking videos of himself using racial slurs against Black people and trying to provoke a response. Now, that he was involved in the shooting Wednesday afternoon on the 13th. And let's take a look at this outside of the courthouse so you get a little bit of what happened. So you can kind of see what happened out there. Let's see if I can get this to, just so you can understand what's happening. This guy shot himself on accident and he thinks that he's going to be the victim. All right. I want you guys to understand that. There's not sound, but he shot himself after shooting Joshua, and now he's sitting there and he's having this all recorded, by the way. That's his people recording this to show, hey, I didn't do anything wrong. He does that quite often, my friends. He films things and then he provokes people and says, I didn't do that. Midnight Lace, good to see ya. All right, let's pull this down. I want to show you what happens when you fuck around and find out. All right, so let me pull this up. He was very, very, we'll say, I don't think he thought he was going to get in this amount of trouble. Let's watch Chud the Builder get that $1.25 million bond on attempted murder.
I know
Check
I
out
showed
him
it. Let's watch
and
it again
his
because
lawyer.
it's too good.
They did not
It's
see
too
that
good.
coming, my friends.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, Mr. Eathley. Mr. Eathley's on bond apparently on several other matters, and this matter was allegedly committed. I'm looking at an A and really a super D, a C, really 3 C's and an A really for tracking kind of purposes. It's pretty serious.
Your Honor mentioned criminal homicide. I thought that was attempted.
I said, did I say homicide? I meant to say attempted criminal homicide if I didn't.
Okay,
I
understood.
thought I did, but that's still an A felony.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a bail hearing.
I'm gonna set just a bond right now after we have our bail hearing, then I'll let you make all the arguments with.
All right, watch this response from him and his lawyer. And also realize there's 111, there's 111 people in chat. Say a prayer for our victim, Joshua, and anybody that experiences this type of behavior. You guys know that it's the same type of behavior that is invoked when you call someone a faggot or a whatever.
Okay,
Right?
trigger
If
warning.
someone's doing that, they're trying to get you mad and they're trying to make you hit them so that they can claim that you're the bad guy, right? So we don't do that. Emotional over the law just doesn't work. And I'm going to show you what an emotional response is versus the law. You just can't do that. All right. He's a social media influencer and he has a shit ton of followers on a different platform.
Go through all the factors in the statute.
Watch.
See if that gets amended up or down. Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to set initial bond at 1.25 million. Based on the fact.
I wish it was higher.
We're here at the courthouse and the
Yes.
seriousness of all these felonies and his bond status.
Did you guys see that? Did you see his reaction to that? This guy didn't think he was
Hell
going to
yeah.
get that. And he's not even out. He's sitting there freaking, he can't get out because he doesn't have enough money to. So let's take a look at this and then we're going to see some different perspectives. And of course, I'm going to show you guys videos that he's been doing, calling people the N-word, the N-word, the N-word, chimps, whatever. All right, check this out real quick.
Chud the Builder proves a very important lesson about very specific groups of incel losers on the internet. I'm going to explain how. But if you don't know, this guy basically got famous overnight by pandering to a whole bunch of alt-right weirdos by going out in public and spamming the hard R to literally any black or brown person he meets and basically just harassing people outside on stream. But not only does he prove that every single racist stereotype is basically just a projection that the individual saying them currently feels about themselves, he also proves how many of them are incapable of dealing with controversy.
Now look, this is Chud the Builder. This is him trying to break into social media prior to going out and being racist. And of course, you're gonna, if I go out on a platform right now and start saying some really bad stuff, people are gonna catch the attention. So he went from a fairy to a cowboy racist. What's happening here? I wouldn't even call him emo. I think deep down he really wants to be a bottom. He wants to be bottomed, and he can't get bottomed, so he's gonna be racist. Right? Exactly, Thought Criminal. This whole platform, all Kick and YouTube and all that, people try to get attention with their roles, and when it doesn't work, they do something else. It's not genuine, though.
And are also incapable of dealing with the consequences of their own actions. Because even though his entire career is literally just rage baiting people and harassing them into reacting and doing something that could potentially threaten their own freedom, he is literally never going to fight a single black dude he threatens like this. The only reason he even has a fan base is because of the infinite amount of weirdos who are literally keyboard warriors who hide behind their screens to say whatever racist or bigoted statement they could possibly think of, even though they would literally never do that or even stare in my direction if we were in real life. And honestly, I'm not inciting any violence against this guy, but I know that karma is going to handle him, and I genuinely cannot wait until it does. Chud the Builder proves.
Can you guys imagine walking by a group of young men, black young men, Hispanic young men, anybody, any kind of anything?
Yeah. Let me tell you this. There is this, okay, the name of this fund is called Give, Send, and Go. So he goes out on Give, Send, and Go. I'm going to show you this. We're going to pull it up over here so I can show you what's going on here. And I'm very disgusted. And go. We're going to go to the website. I'm going to show you. No, this. Okay. Go down here to Give, Send, and Go. Okay. I think it's called. Okay. I'm going to pull this up. That is not the right one. You put one thing in, it tries to take you someplace else. What's that about? I don't know. Website here. That's Squarespace. It's not the same thing. Why can I not pull it up over here? Oh, maybe this is it. Okay. Now, we're going to pull up this guy's name. His name is Chud the Builder. Okay. Let me see if you can hear. I don't know why he's called that. That's just the name he gave himself. All right. So, now, let me share my screen over here and show you this. You're going to be sick when I show you this. Okay? I don't understand it. All right, there he is. Let me look at this right quick. Now, as you can see, there he is. Look what he has raised. Look what they have raised with this piece of shit. Okay? Oh, this says $25,000. It had more than that while ago. Oh, I sent a copy of this to my good friend. It says this is anti-Chud. Let me go to the other one. Sorry. Let me go to that. Okay. Chud the Builder. Let's see. Ooh, maybe they took it down. I'm not sure. That was anti-family. Let me see. Oh no, here it is. No, that's another one. Keep Chud the Builder's legacy alive. I mean, look at all this ridiculousness. Look at all these. I mean, it's crazy. I'm trying to find this. Okay, there's many of these. I got to find the right one. Okay, I have to find the right one because when I looked at it earlier, he had $256,000 when he was trying to raise $100,000. So what I did is I went out and I looked at the terms of service for this company of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. And guess what you're not allowed? Guess what you're not allowed to do? You're not allowed to raise funds for legal defense if you have been involved in a violent crime. Attempted murder is a violent crime. I need to send myself this. Let me go to my email so I can pull this up. Hang on a minute. I'm going to my email and pull it back up so I can show you this picture so you'll know which one. Because when I'm going to give you the live stream so that we can actually shut this bitch down. That's what I'm going to do because I'm sick of seeing it. Let me go to Gmail. Hang on a second, guys. I'm gonna let Jay play while I find what I want to find. So let me go back and share that. We're gonna let her play while I go find that website and everything you need to do what I did to shut this son of a bitch down. I am not gonna. No, this is wrong. It's completely wrong. Here you go.
Jewish people, whatever, and just walking by and saying something like that, just outrageous. Yeah, why you live in rural Texas, only Jewish family for miles. But could you imagine going to a Jewish family and just saying the worst things and then invoking your right to freedom of speech and the right to bear arms, so to speak? Could you imagine? Could you imagine why anybody would do that? I know, and rightfully so. All right, let's listen. Let's check this out because this guy's my guy. This is the first time I found him, but this guy, Colin Noir, he has like millions of followers, but my whole thing is he's all about what I'm about. I am about our freedom to carry and freedom to whatever we want to do, but not invoke violence. We can defend ourselves, and this guy does rightfully so. Let's check this out, and then we're gonna get into the law of this.
Hang on a second. Hang on. Let me switch gears right quick because now hang on. Well, let me share this screen. It's disgusting. Okay, this is flat out. Oh Lord, here we go. Now, if you notice, it says help the Chud family. There he is. Dear friends and supporters and champions of free speech. I'm going to read this out loud to you guys. You can see what exactly I'm talking about. My name is Dalton Earthley, and I am reaching out with heavy heart, fighting to protect my family and my business. Just over 1 year ago, I started DLE Contracting. Okay, saying he was a builder in Clarksville, Tennessee, out of necessity. I was fired from my previous contracting job after a BLM activist targeted me over words I shared online, jokes and opinions that they twisted to end my career. So you can see what he was doing at work, and he gets fired. Of course he does, right? Inappropriate piece of shit. With no other way to support my family and my precious 2-year-old son, I poured everything into this small business, working tirelessly to provide for my family and build a future. But now that my dream is under attack, not for the quality of my work, but for what I say online, I've shared mild jokes, unfiltered thoughts, and yes, sometimes I've used the N-word in what I thought was edgy, harmless humor. I know it's controversial, but it's my right to speak freely. For that, hundreds of people in my city are slandering my business, spreading lies, and tearing down everything I've worked for. The hate has escalated into a horrifying level. I've received death threats so vile they shake me to my core. People threatening to scrape and murder me, and even targeting my innocent 2-year-old with unspeakable cruelty. As a father, hearing these threats against my little boy breaks my heart and keeps me up at night. In the midst of this nightmare, a spark of hope emerged. I went viral on Instagram, gaining 23,000 followers who connect with my story, my resilience, and my refusal to be silenced. People are beginning to stand up for American ideals and values. This platform is a chance to turn things around, but right now I'm broke. The slander has crushed my business income, and I'm struggling to keep food on the table, pay our bills, and protect my family from this onslaught. I need your help to bridge the gap while I rebuild. Your donation will go towards covering basic living expenses for my family, exploring legal options to fight the slander and protect my family from the vicious threats, find new ways to create substantial income for my family. This isn't just about money. It's about standing up to the mob trying to destroy not just my family's future over words, but our rights to free speech as a whole. If you've ever felt silenced, attacked, or punished, or your beliefs, you've known this fight. My business is only a year old, and it was born from necessity after I was canceled once before. Now I'm facing it again. With your support, I can rise above this hate, provide for my family, and prove that cancel culture won't break us. Every dollar and every share and every prayer means the world to us. Thank you for standing with my family. All right, now listen. You heard me read that shit, right? You heard that. This is disgusting because he doesn't work. He rage baits for money. Understand this right now. He rage baits for money. This has nothing to do with his career being canceled. No, it does not. This has every bit to do with I'm going to holler freedom of speech, and I'm going to use. Hey, couponing, so good to see you, girl. How you doing? This is okay. Couponing. This is about a guy named Chud the Builder. He provoked a situation where he ended up shooting a man because he was yelling racial slurs, etc., at the guy. The guy got upset, and he came over, and he ends up shooting the guy, and he ends up shooting himself. He's charged with attempted murder. Well, he's got this site out there where he's collecting money, supposedly because he's trying to protect his freedom of speech. It's garbage. He's a freeloader who won't work. That's what this is, and he's rage baiting for money. That's all he is. Period. The end. But look at this. His goal was 100,000, but he's raised $259,000. Really? 14 minutes ago somebody gave $100. 17 minutes somebody gave 50. This is garbage bullshit. Garbage bullshit. But let me tell you something about this right here. This was actually not put up for what you think it was put up for. He has changed. Listen, the wording has been changed around because he knew that it was going to be against the terms of service to tell them, oh, it was for legal fees after he wrongly shot somebody, right? And then tried to claim it was self-defense. There is also on Reddit, I'm still trying to look for it, a little deal where he said days before he actually did this, that he was going to provoke somebody and show them. He talked about shooting somebody. He was going to show them what he could do. The guy is a piece of shit. He deserves to stay in jail. I hope he does not raise enough money to get out of jail. But it looks to me like with $256,000 over there, he's going to be able to get some bondsman to get him out. I am disgusted that people donate to this kind of trash. Now we're going to go back and listen to Jay. Hang on. Sorry about that. I just had to get that out because I'm very upset about this. Very upset.
Here is the message that you guys need to know.
It's,
Let me go a little bit more. I did a timestamp on there because there's so much in this case. I didn't know exactly where to start. I think it's 3 minutes something in, 3:57 in. All right. The message is clear here. We already did this part, but I just hold on. Let's go here.
Random driver with monkey calls and slurs from the same steakhouse live stream.
Oh,
that was Friday. Wednesday, he's at a different courthouse in a different jurisdiction for a different case entirely, and he ends up in another shooting. This dude is on a one-man speed run through the Tennessee criminal justice system. Now, real quick before I keep going, Father's Day is right around the corner. It's June 21st.
All right, we're gonna
Chud the Builder.
get rid of all this. Go
His typical
subscribe.
provocation routine in that exact moment.
Again, guys, you know, and we're all knowing that it's a provocation, so he can get on YouTube. Okay, now take a look real quick because I wanted to show you this, and I hadn't ran into it just yet. I had it on my document, but I want you to see the people that support him, and I made sure to make the mods. Hey, make sure there might not be trolls in chat. Just delete them. Look at his Go. It's not even GoFundMe. It's Give Go Send, and that means it doesn't take it takes whatever fee out you want it to. Look at his goal, guys. His goal was $100,000. They've raised $256,000 for Chud. They say help Chud and his family. Dear friends, supporters, and champions of free speech. My name is Dalton, whatever your
it's
name is, and I'm
ridiculous,
reaching out
right?
with a
It's
heavy heart,
ridiculous.
fighting to protect
Yeah,
my
let
family.
me go past that because I just
Just
read
over
that. Here, we'll go past that.
because there's people backing this guy right now. They went above and beyond. I mean, and I know it was
It's
probably a
ridiculous.
troll that came into chat earlier saying free Chud, but are you freaking kidding me?
I know, vent on.
All right, let's listen to this guy because this guy makes sense.
Moment. And that distinction matters legally.
I
Because
mean,
though he may
really?
have done this in the past, at the time when the attack happened, he may not actually have been the person provoking the situation. We don't know. We don't have the police report. We don't have the witness statements under oath. We don't have any body cam. We don't have the other man's account. But the fact that he's been charged speaks volumes. It could mean the police and the DA have more information about how much provocation was involved than we currently have access to publicly. Or it could mean that even with what they have, they decided the attack didn't warrant, from their perspective, Chud resorting to deadly force in the way that he did. Either way, the system moved on him, and it moved fast. So everything I'm about to break down is predicated on the exact details and the exact facts as we currently understand them. And the truth is, some of this is still up in the air on the margins. If new facts drop that flip this thing on its head,
Right, I'm gonna go forward. I mean, the message is fantastic, but I've told you a lot of the story.
Look,
I've told you a lot of the story, but the message here is, guys, don't react to this stuff. You know, it's all jokes and fun and games when we do, and sometimes someone comes in chat and we call them a troll, but that's just being nice for saying you're a piece of garbage. You're literally a racist or, you know, homophobic piece of garbage. Yeah, just the name Chud, right? Again, this is emotional. Your emotional reaction versus the law.
it is not easy to have a melting pot of different people with different cultures, different backgrounds, and have them come together to live under the umbrella of an ideology that is an imperfect America. Yes, some races clash at times, but at the end of the day, our difference is the beauty. Those differences aren't always positive. Sometimes they're negative from all sides. That's the country. That's the deal. But when you bastardize a constitutional right like the First Amendment, and then you smear that bastardization all across the Second Amendment, that's where I have a real problem. Because every black two-way person, every white two-way person, every Indian, Mexican two-way person scrapes and fights every minute, every day, every second, only to gain an inch and lose a mile just to protect this right. That is being attacked on all fronts. And here you go, just handing them all the examples in the world to come after this right harder because you think you're standing on business by running around mindlessly insulting people and then screaming self-defense when you get attacked.
Yeah, I hope you guys do understand the concept of what he's doing. What's up, MM Clark? Big hugs and Sadie's mama. And guys, see ya.
And you know what else? Here's the thing. He was kicked. He was banned from Kick. He's been banned from a few of these sites, you know. He's been, I mean, because of what he's doing. It is disgusting. It's oh God.
Prayer for Trisha and why just say a prayer. She's going through the chemo thing
Yeah.
again, and she's got, you know, young children. And
go back and start talking about
shot by Chud the builder. He provoked him intentionally in front of a courthouse so that he could pull out his gun and shoot. Okay.
He was headed into that courthouse for a separate incident. You don't take a firearm into a courthouse. It is against the law. Who does he think he is? He thinks he's above the law. He thought he was going to provoke this guy and call it self-defense, and oh well. And that's it. Here we go.
Hey, this guy is not a perfect victim. And when I see the racist stuff online, the people on the other side are saying, good, Chud the Builder did a great thing. He's wiping out the black community of people that are, no, hell nah. Hell nah. See, I knew someone was going to come in and say that too. The dude who put his hands on Earl has crimes against children. All right, while you're here, Cash, let's check this out because that's not right.
That's
You
not
guys got to
true.
do your research before you say dumb comments like that. Let me show you. That guy did not have crimes against children. It's a different name, different guy. Here's our victim. One more time, guys. Let's get rid of all the nonsense that we're talking about. Chud is not a good guy. Racist people are not acceptable in my world. Sorry.
Convicted of solicitation of a minor. And a Wi-Fi warlord by the name of Tribal Elitism will leave a comment. Chud the Builder is still locked up, and people are saying he did everyone a favor because apparently the guy that he shot was convicted of solicitation of a minor. And a Wi-Fi warlord by the name of Tribal Elitism will leave a comment saying the black you are defending and saying is a hero is convicted of aggravated domestic violence and rape. Jake is cool with rapists. Fuck no. So I decided to do my homework as usual. This is Joshua Fox, the white version, who is convicted of solicitation of a minor.
So there you go. Do your homework, my friends, before you come off giving half-cocked BS, okay? It wouldn't even matter if he was that. He's still the victim, but that it is the case that he's not. That was not him. It's this white dude named Joshua Fox. Again, do your homework before you come saying stupid shit.
And who is convicted of solicitation of a minor. Now, this Joshua Fox is a disabled Army veteran who suffers from a list of mental health conditions, and he was arrested for domestic violence after threatening his wife with a screwdriver. So did he deserve to get shot? Fuck no. I did a list of shit that people got 5 felonies to prove it. And now I'm trying to give a message on the internet to tell kids to stay out the motherfucking streets. Stop giving excuses for Chud. What he did wasn't right. Chud the Builder is still locked.
No freaking excuses, but there are a lot of excuses for him. So I'm going to show you some other things before we get back into the real message today and the impact that you have emotionally versus what your legal rights are. Now check this out. 7 hours ago, this guy named Tom Hennessy says he got a new voicemail from Chud the Builder, aka Dalton. He's so grateful for all his support, and he's in the fight of his life right now, guys. So keep rallying for a fundraiser. All right, listen to what he says. This is on the give, send, go. People are. Check this out. This racist mother.
It's Chud, Dalton.
They're
Again,
supporting
I just want to tell everybody thank you for all the help and support.
Right.
Hey guys, it's Chud, Dalton. Again, I just want to tell everybody thank you for all the help and support. And they're trying to put me away for 60 years.
Good.
Which would be the rest of my life.
Good.
So I just need you guys' help as much as possible. I appreciate all the help that you guys have already given. Just pray hard, man, because they're trying to take my life, truly.
Good.
So
bye.
I just need all the help I can.
Your call will end in 1.
Now let's talk about this for just a second. Okay. Listen, when you pull out a gun and you shoot somebody, what do you think is going to happen to you? What made him think it was okay to pull out a gun and shoot this person? After he stood out there and provoked the guy, yelling racial slurs at him continually until the guy was upset. In front of a courthouse that he had every intention of going into with a weapon on him. He thinks he is above the law. This kind of person right here is very dangerous because if he will do it once, he will do it again. Would you like it to be your family member that just happened to be on the street where he was, and he's doing this, and something happens, and your family member is the one that ends up getting hit by the bullet? Would you like that? No. He's very dangerous. People like this, I mean, yes, there's the right to free speech, but there's not the right to free speech when you go out there and you start calling people names and you act this way and then you shoot them. No. It's wrong. It's totally wrong. And it upset me when I saw this today. I was like, you got to be kidding me. And people are throwing money at him. What about his victim? What about that?
The whole thing is too, that kind of behavior incites racial violence.
Damn right.
And we all know how, inciting violence like that can become. That can just become an absolute storm of horribleness, for lack of a better word. You rile people up, and you've got black people on one side, white people on the other side, and it's just an all-out war. And it's just horrible. It's just horrible. You know, at the end of the day, we all bleed red.
Right.
We all bleed red. So there's really no difference. You know, we
I
are our
mean,
hearts beat to keep us alive. We have blood in our bodies, and that's it. The only thing that's different is the color of our skin on the outside, period. And
true. I mean,
to incite this kind of hatred among people, I
mhm.
mean, do we really want to go back to how many years ago is it now? 70
Yeah,
years
yeah.
ago? Do we
Is
really
that the way
want to
you
go
want to
back
live?
there? We
No,
don't want to
hell
go
no.
back there. Like,
No.
who wants to go back there?
I mean, this is the kind of thing he does. He also showed up at one of the No Kings protests after getting into an argument. Um, and he gets into an argument with this lady, and she decides to pull her gun because he shows up there and starts arguing with her, doing the same thing. You see what I'm saying? We've got him pulling a gun after he taunts somebody, then he goes and taunts this other lady at this No Kings protest, and she pulls a gun. What in the world is going to happen when all of a sudden we've got gun-toting people just shooting it out in the middle of the street in front of the courthouse? Because this protest happened. It was a peaceful protest. He
Yeah.
had no business going to. People have the right to protest. That's the way. Just like he has the right to free speech, people have the right to protest. You can have a protest, a protest without violence. It is getting out of control, and I just don't. This is in Tennessee. Imagine a small town Tennessee where you've got a race war started amongst
Yeah.
people. It's just, I don't, it's like he's just playing with fire, and I feel like it's extremely dangerous. I just really do. It's,
He is
I just,
extremely dangerous. You
I
know,
just
it's a
can't
good
believe.
thing. It's a good thing he's off the street, but the whole thing is what he
Hmm.
can do from being off the street. He can still provoke all these people. Look at all the
What?
people that have donated to him, and all that they could do, all the damage that they could cause. I mean, this is a net that is spread very, very wide. It doesn't just end with him.
No, no. I mean, he's just one of many, but
Yeah,
he's got himself out there in the front. He's the front runner right now because he's what he's done. But to think that people will donate money to shit like this, but we've got starving kids. Think about that.
well, look at
Why not
look at
donate
Wade
money to something else? Wade
look
Wilson,
at Wade Wilson and Mangione, the guy who killed,
yeah,
was. I mean, look at how much money was raised for them. I mean,
it's
it's just,
ridiculous.
and there's people starving in this world. It's just
I mean,
kids that are
why?
homeless, kids that are
Right,
starving.
right.
They go to bed hungry every night. They don't have
Every
any
night,
shoes. I
right?
mean, uh, it's mind blowing what this world is becoming. It really is. And if this is where it's at now, where's it going to be in another 25 years? It's terrifying.
Right. Where is it going to be? The fact that he has sit here and made $250,000 rage baiting, inciting races. I mean, good God, what in the world is it going to? I can't.
I
It
mean,
just
you get all the
angry.
KKK members
Oh
along
my
with it.
God.
You know what I mean? You bring all them into it. I mean, it's a snowball effect that just can be absolutely devastating. It really can.
You know, the thing. When you look at this and you think about how many different people let's look at YouTube for a minute. I mean, I'm just going to talk about this for a second about YouTube. YouTube has become nothing but a rage bait. These people
It
that
is.
get on these, they get on these YouTube, they get on these little shows and they say they're reviewing other people. And they get on their high horse about it's about justice, it's about this, it's about that. And so then they've got under the pretense of, and they're reviewing these other people, and they're just creating hate among YouTubers. It's rage baiting. It's all the same, but that's what sells on YouTube. People like
Yeah,
me and Sprinkle
it's
who come up here and just want to talk about legal things and cases where people are injured or have been killed, murdered, that kind of thing, people at the appeals court, that kind of thing, people aren't interested in that. It's kind of boring to them because we're not over here calling parents of missing children, blaming them for what happened to children, all that kind of stuff. That is what sells on YouTube, right? And it's crazy and it's not right. And you know what? Me having this conversation is doing no good at all. I know that. But you know what? I feel better because I know at least I'm addressing that I feel like he is wrong and that he is a dangerous man. And I cannot believe people are raising for money for him the way they are. And because now the way his money raising efforts are, it's not talking about his defense fund that he needs. It's not talking about that. So therefore, he's going to get away with this, and I'm not going to be able to cancel him by the terms of service because he's not using it for his legal defense, even though we know he really is. He is trying to raise money for his $1.25 million bond. That's what he's raising money for. He's lying to the public about what that is. Oh my God.
I mean, and his poor little baby, his baby.
His little family.
I see that people are, putting death threats on the child. That's wrong too.
That's wrong. It absolutely is.
His son had nothing to do with this.
You should never involve children, ever.
No, you're the people that are saying they're going to kill your kid, they're just as bad as he is.
They are.
Just as bad as he is.
Children
and there's some crazy people in this world, and there are people that would do it. There are people that would go after that little baby. And what the hell? I mean, is that what we've become as a society? Going after what did he say, 3-year-old, 4-year-old little baby who's done nothing?
Right. Somebody put something on Reddit said, "What, we're freeing attempted murderers now?" Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing when you're throwing money at something like that. He's not in. I know they're innocent until proven guilty, but he was charged with attempted murder. He shot the guy. He accidentally shot himself while he's doing this, which is kind of silly, but it happened. He accidentally shot himself. Right? I mean, we can't just let people. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to let her talk a little bit more about this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time on here. I had originally wanted everybody to help me report him for raising money for a violent crime because he's trying to get bail money because he's, but the way he's worded this, we're not going to be able to get it pulled down because he's not talking about the bail that he needs. He's talking about something else. So that's not going to work. We have to.
Well, what would if his bond was $1 million?
Mm-hmm.
How much would he have to? How much would he have? I can't work. My brain's not functioning. How much would he have to come up with?
Well, that depends on the bondsman.
It's 10%, right?
No.
So it'd be about 100.
No. A bondsman can say, I want 20%. A bondsman can say, I want 30%. Depends on if you're flight risk. The bonds people have the right, because it's their money they're putting up for you.
But isn't it normally, it's normally 10% though, right? Isn't that pretty much the average?
It depends
on 10%?
What you get,
So 10% of $1 million, 10% of $1 million would be how much?
$100,000.
$100,000, right?
So if he has $256,000, why is he not out? What's going on?
I would think with a bond that high, they would require a substantial amount. I would think they would require like 50% or something like that.
I mean, because if he walks, if he runs off, or he disappears, the bondsman has to pay the money. That's how it works.
Right.
Let me see if there's any kind of average or bond percentage on $1 million or 1.25 mil. Let me see if there's something that will tell me anything about that.
Yeah, I wonder if the bond goes higher, if the percentage goes higher, is what I'm wondering.
Right.
Or when the bail goes higher, if the bond goes higher.
Let's see. Okay, for an average bond percentage for 1.25 million. Let's see. Well, they're talking about a 60-40 rule, 70-30, 80-20, $250,000.
Holy shit. I wonder if he'll get it.
Yeah. Well, he has $256,000 already. But again, see, I believe there's some kind of deal because remember they talked about this bond hearing. They set bail. They set a bond. But then they were talking about this bail hearing. So let me see what that means in Tennessee. Bail hearing in Tennessee. Hang on. Because, you know, every state has different rules as far as that goes.
Right.
Let's see what it means. Okay. Okay. In Tennessee, a bail hearing or bond hearing is a formal court proceeding where a judge or magistrate determines whether an arrested individual can be released from jail prior to trial and what a financial or restrictive conditions must be met for that release. So, the right to bail under the current Tennessee Constitution, pretrial bail is guaranteed constitutional right for all individuals except in cases of capital murder. Tennessee amendment seeks to allow judges to completely deny bail for 73 specific violent felonies. So there's 73 different felonies that they can even deny you bail. I think the judge set it so high to keep him in jail.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, the jail, that judge had seen all the things that this guy had been doing. He saw what happened here. So then they can do, okay, on a cash bond, the full face value of the bail must be paid directly to the court clerk, which is refunded when the case concludes minus the court administration fee. On a commercial surety bond, a professional bail bondsman charges a non-refundable fee. It's typically 10% in Tennessee to post the full bail amount for the defendant. So there is a bondsman's oversight. All Tennessee bail bondsmen must operate under a strict state level licensing and central department oversight. Now that's interesting because in some states they can set their own rates, right? That's kind of interesting right there. Yeah, keep on. Oh, night. I know you had a long day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Keep planning. See you later. Thank you for stopping by. We always appreciate it. Yeah, it is 12:12, isn't it? Okay. I'm not going to keep you any longer yet. I think we're going to get off of here because I'm not going to be able to do what I wanted to do, which was show everybody how to report this particular fundraising. But because it doesn't mention he's raising for his bail, we're not going to be able to do it. And that pisses me off. So we're going to let this go. I just wanted to show you what's going on and try to do something to stop the bullshit here. I'm tired of seeing the perpetrators get full support and the victims get nothing. This has to end. It has to end. And I don't know what we can do to stop it. But anyway, thank you for coming in. We always appreciate seeing everybody. You know, if you get a chance, just watch this whenever and again. Thank you to Guilty of Crime for letting us use her work here that she did today. So I can show you what we're talking about, what's going on. And with that, we're going to say, take care of yourself, be careful out there, and we'll see you tomorrow. And take us out.
And hug your babies.
That's right. Life is short. Our time with them is even shorter. So we just need to make sure that we tell our kids we love them every single day, folks. Every day. I'll see y'all tomorrow, or later today, actually. Bye, guys. Good night. Good night.
All right, good night, everybody.